What's up, guys? It's Benches, and welcome to Super Mario Land. I felt like doing like a quick little playthrough of a game, and I thought to myself, hey, what's better than a little bite-sized Mario game? For those of you who have never played it, this came out in 1989. It came out for the original Game Boy. Way back. You remember that old big brick portable system, the Game Boy? Yeah. This was one of the first Mario titles ever released for it. It's really fun, it's really interesting, and surprisingly enough, this Mario game was not made by Miyamoto. This was actually made by a different, producer. So, let's have some fun, let's enjoy it. Like, we're going to play through the whole game in this one episode, so it might be a little long, but I hope you guys enjoy Super Mario Land. Here we go. Alright. And if you're wondering if I am playing this on an actual Game Boy, I am not. I am not playing this on an actual Game Boy. I am actually playing this on my Retron 5, simply just because it's easier to record this in HD that way. And I tried putting filters on it and everything to give it that, like, pea soup green color that most Game Boys have and everything like that, but unfortunately I couldn't do that, so we're doing it this way. So what can I talk about this game that I'm pretty sure that a lot of you have, like, experienced over the years, for those of you who have ever played it? One thing I will point out, I didn't have this game as a kid, originally. Mainly just because I didn't have a Game Boy. Because when I was a kid, I had an NES, but I wasn't allowed to have a Game Boy because I had an NES. My parents were the kind of parents that just like, you already have a Nintendo at home, why do you need a Game Boy? And everything like that. And plus they were expensive too, back in the day. And that was like the main thing. We didn't have a lot of disposable like income and stuff when I was a kid, so it was just like, you get what you can have and that's it. I didn't end up having like a regular Game Boy until I was like a lot older. It was like right around where the original Game Boy's lifespan was like almost done. But yeah, I ended up having that. I only had a few games on my original Game Boy back when I was a kid. I think I had Super Mario Land. I had Super Mario Land 2. Tetris, because it's like a good way to put Tetris is it's like if you had an original NES and you didn't have a copy of Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt, you didn't have an NES, and that was pretty much the same thing with the Game Boy. If you had a Game Boy and you didn't have a copy of Tetris, then you didn't own a Game Boy. So yeah, I had that, and I had a Ninja Turtles game called Fall of the Foot Clan. So yeah, surprisingly enough, I did not have Pokemon when I had my Game Boy. I did not have Pokemon. I didn't get Pokemon until I got the Game Boy Pocket, I think. Yeah, that was like, it was pretty much a slimmer designed Game Boy with like a sharper screen and a higher contrast rate and everything like that. It took 2 AAA batteries. I remember that because I remember the original Game Boy. Dude, that thing took 4 AA batteries. And that thing only lasted, I think, like a good 30 minutes to an hour, depending on what you played. So taking that thing on trips and everything like that, unless you had like a knapsack full of batteries, dude, you were not gonna have that for a long time. But yeah, just there was something about the Game Boy, man. It really solidified that, you know, you could take gaming anywhere. I mean, the way it is now, I mean, you can literally like open up your phone and then boom, you can play a game. But back then, it's like portable gaming was such a novelty back in the day. Like no one really no one really thought it was like, hey, you can take video games everywhere with you now. And then just like the popularity of portable gaming just kind of grew and grew and grew to the point where we saw like competitors, and then we saw like other little knockoffs and everything like that. Because I know when the Game Boy was out, they had these like Tiger electronic handhelds. I don't know if you guys have ever seen them, but like they're this big plastic hulking little like portable game thing that it would have like actual crap. I got shrunk again. There would have like these actual like licensed games on them. You'd have one for like, oh no, I hit the tail. I hit the tail and I died. Anyway, but yeah, it had like Double Dragon, it had Sonic 1 and 2, there was tons of them, and I mean, they were about as watered down as you could get when it came to those, because it would just be like, and it would just be like this little tiny little game character, and he would just kind of move across the screen. It would be like one frame, one frame, one frame, one frame. That's how it would work. And like the buttons were huge and they were super clicky. It felt like cheap, but it was like, if you couldn't afford a Game Boy, that was your next alternative. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, in this game you don't save Princess Peach, you save Princess Daisy. So, which is, I think, in my brain, I feel like that's where the guys who made the Super Mario Brothers movie got the idea from. And there's like, too many people would expect us to do a movie about Princess Peach. So let's do one on Super Mario Land instead, where you have to save Princess Daisy instead. That's my idea. I think that's what they decided to do. I could be totally wrong, and they just kind of just completely shoehorned the movie and just ruined it. Much that I would not be surprised if that was the case, because let's be honest here, if you've never seen the Super Mario Brothers movie, consider yourself lucky. But I feel like in some regards that the Super Mario Brothers movie, it's become such a novelty now because of how bad it is. It's one of those movies that it's now become, it's so bad that it's good. And I'll admit, there are some elements to that movie that I fairly enjoy. I like the cheesiness. I like the fact that apparently Luigi is the heartthrob of the movie, which in today's society with how the internet works, that's kind of become an actual thing, because with memes and everything like that. So it's really weird. From the way the goofy Goombas looked in the movie to the Koopas, to the fact that Bob Hopkins, I think that's his name, the guy from Waterworld, played King Koopa. There was a super scope in the movie that they used to de-evolutionize people. The Bob-ombs had Reebok shoes. It was a weird movie, man. I still own it to this day on VHS. And apparently they were going to release a special edition Blu-ray of the movie. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if it's out yet or if it's been out, but if it is, I'm probably gonna buy it. I'm not gonna lie. Because I'm not gonna lie, I saw that movie in theaters as a kid, thinking it was gonna be the best movie ever. I thought it was gonna be amazing. Like, finally, like, a video game that I love is being turned into a movie. There's no way it could ever be bad. How naive my little brain was as a young kid, because that was during the time where I didn't think video game movies could be bad. I did not think that video game movies could just use something as a quick licensing to, like, you know, be like, ha, no, we're just here to make some money, that's it. And I was wrong. I was very wrong. So wrong that I almost left the theater. That's how upset by that movie I was as a kid. Like, I told my mom, because she was the one who took me to this movie. I was like, Mom, this movie's not very good. You want to just go? And my mom was very, very headstrong about it. She was like, no, I paid for this movie, you're gonna watch it. So I had to sit and watch it. But it was not fun. I'll be 100% about that. It was not a fun time for me. But then again, I thought, you know, maybe that was just that's how it was. Maybe other video game movies won't be as bad. No, they got worse. They got worse. Because I think one other one that I saw, Jesus, oh, my nose itches. Because there's a few video game movies out there. They're not good, but they're not incredibly terrible. Because I think after the Super Mario Brothers movie, the other video game movie I saw was the first Mortal Kombat. Yeah, it was the first Mortal Kombat movie, and it was like, it was cheesy, it was hokey as all hokey can get, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't so bad I'm just like, this movie sucks, I'm leaving the theater. It had exactly what I wanted in a Mortal Kombat movie, being it's a mature rated game, but it's made for a PG-13 audience. So it gave me exactly what I wanted. Now the sequel, oh boy, no, the sequel was bad. But I'll say this, the sequel, A Mortal Kombat Annihilation, was definitely one of those movies where it was bad, but it was laughable how bad it was. That's how I deemed that movie. It was so bad it was funny. Because it's like, literally, like, if you go, like, on YouTube and stuff like that, just look up random scenes from the movie, you'll get a chuckle. I guarantee it. But yeah, man, it's just playing through this, man, this game just takes me back. I remember because I would bring my Game Boy to school. I would put it in my backpack, and I think the one class I knew I always would take it out and play while class was going on was probably like, I think it was like geography, because like I hated geography. It was like I passed that class with not even trying, but the teacher was very dull and it was boring, and I'm just like, dude. So when she would be up there talking and everything, and I didn't want to be disrespectful. I was like, yo, your teaching's boring, but it was just like, I was like, my attention wasn't being grabbed, so I'm just like, nah. And then I would just pull out my Game Boy and just play some Tetris while in class. And you could tell I was laser focused on it because, especially when like the class would be quiet, all you could hear is like the clicking of the buttons. Because like everybody, it would be that weird like silence, and then you would just hear like the clicking of the button. Hold on, let me do it like this. You would hear like, you would hear that, and people would be looking around, and then they would be like, and then you'd always have that one kid like looking over at you. He's like, hey, what are you playing? I'm like, shut up, man. Shut up. He's like, dude, can I play? And I'm like, no. And then just because you said no, because you were in the zone and everything, he would rat on you, and you're just like, Ben, could you come up to the front, please? I'm like, okay. It's like, what is that you got there? I'm like, nothing. Like, let me see it. And that was the worst thing ever, man. Like, I remember too. I remember the day that I guess I got caught with my Game Boy in class, and the teacher took it from me. And she's like, you can have this back at the end of the semester. I'm like, whoa, no. Because like, that was the thing, they would take it from you, you couldn't have it back till the end of the semester, and I'm just like, and I was one of those kids, like, most kids would do just like, fine, and everything like that, they would wait till the end of the semester to get back their stuff. No, dude, I fought that. I was like one of those people who like get like a parking ticket and I was like, no, I'm gonna go to court and appeal this like the day of. That's how I was when I got my Game Boy taken away in school. I pretty much said, it's like, no, you are not taking that from me. It is mine. It's not yours. You can't have it. And I'm not about to let you hold on to it till the end of the semester. No. And pretty much what I ended up doing is I ended up calling my mom, which was the hugest mistake, by the way. It was the hugest mistake. Because I called my mom and I told her, it's just like, Mom! She's like, what? What's the matter? The teacher took my Game Boy. And the first thing my mom said is, why did you have your Game Boy at school? And I'm like, I was doing show and tell. And thankfully that worked. And I was like, okay, I'm in the clear. Cool, I'm gonna get my Game Boy back. And then my mom shows up to talk to my teacher, and she's like, why did you take his Game Boy away if he brought it in for show and tell? And and my teacher was slick about it. She's like, ma'am, we don't do show and tell in our classroom. It's a geography class. There's no show and tell in the geography class. And then my mom just looks over at me and she's like, oh, okay. So you mean to tell me he had it out in class? Crap! I died. Literally what just happened to Mario, that's what happened to me when my mom figured that out. And she's like, oh, really? And he's like, well, that's okay. Well, I will make sure that he doesn't do it anymore. And just like, you know when you're a kid and you're in trouble, your parents give you that one look, you're just like, oh man, I'm gonna get it when I get home. Because my mom was never one of those people who just like, wait till your dad gets home, like, and then you're gonna get a talking to. Like, my mom was like, no, my mom, when she was ready to crack the whip, dude, I was in trouble. And instead of having to wait till the end of the semester to get my Game Boy back, I had to wait until my mom felt it was okay for me to have it back. And that usually took maybe a week, month, doesn't matter. Whenever she felt like, yeah, okay, you've suffered long enough, so. Because, yeah. Because, I mean, the thing is like, I didn't play my Game Boy a lot. Crap! I fell in the hole! I didn't play my Game Boy a lot at home. When I was at home, because, you know, I had my NES and everything like that, so I didn't really need to bring it out that much to play it. But it was mostly like when it's storming out and you can't really, my parents were just like, you can't have the TV on when it's raining out because they don't want it to knock out the power and all that stuff. So I would do it then, and when we would take like trips or drive to the store or something like that, I would bring it with me. So that's why I didn't really like, okay, it's not that bad, because I had my NES. But then there would be the times where your parents would take it away from you and you're just like, oh, this is what prison is like. Like I'm in purgatory or something. This is bad, but those were the tropes we had to live with as kids, man. Like now it's not just like, I'm gonna take your phone and you can't text, and it's like, no, my life is over. It's like, now you can't play Mario on the go. It's like, ah! Life sucks! That's what our hardships were as kids. But it's how you learn, you know? Because I'm pretty sure... No! I'm not gonna get the bonus! Crap. But I'm pretty sure, like, once you grow up and everything, and you have kids of your own, and then you think about it, and you're just like, well, I say that sucked, but I'm pretty sure that at some point in my life, when I have kids, it's gonna be the same deal. Like, you're gonna have to discipline them like that, and you're not gonna want to, but you're gonna have to. It's the only way to learn! Crap. I did not jump hard. But yeah, it's just amazing to me how far gaming, at least portable gaming, has gone since I was a kid to now. Because I think about it, like, I thought a game like this on a portable like the Game Boy, I thought that was colossal. I didn't think technology would ever get any better than that. Better than that point right there. And I think about it now, and I'm like, I look over at my Nintendo Switch, and I'm just like, dude, I have a full built console that I can take full-fledged console games with me wherever I want to go now. And it's just like, it really shows you just how far gaming has gone and where it's continuing to go as the years go. No! Oh. That was unexpected. I found a secret pipe. But yeah, it's just technology is amazing, man. Some people say it moves too fast. Some people say it doesn't move fast enough, and I'm just like, I just like seeing what things change to, man. I like seeing what new things are coming up with and everything like that. It's really cool. And it lets you remind you where you've gone, where you went, and where you're going, you know? Because still to this day, man, even with all these new games coming out, new hardwares and everything, with VR and everything, I'm not gonna lie, there are times where I will, like, seriously, I will pop some AA batteries into my Game Boy that I still own, that I had, crap, I was invisible, and I did not jump over the rock in time. But yeah, there will be times where I will still, like, dust off the Game Boy, pop in this, or Super Mario Land 2, or Tetris or something like that, and I'll just play it, you know? Because there are still games out there that stand the test of time. And a lot of the stuff on the Game Boy was that, you know? Granted, there was some crap on the Game Boy. Don't get me wrong, but it really reminds you, you know, where gaming has gone, where it went, and where it's going, you know. But I think that's one of the things about it that I enjoy. I admire it a lot. So, and there was just something very simple and enjoyable about those things. And it makes me wonder, you know, like, do you guys have any like gaming memories like that? Do you guys have any like what was your first portable game or portable system that you ever played? Did you play the original Game Boy? Did you play the Game Boy Color or the Game Boy Advance? Or did you start out with a DS like I did, or like some people did? Because a lot has changed, man. I know some people around my age range is like, oh yeah, I totally played the Game Boy. Or there might be some people around my age range that have never played a video game before, but they one day decided to pick up a DS and they're just like, give it a go. And it's always about like the places that you're at where you feel like I'm gonna whip out a game real quick and play because I need something to pass the time. Like where are times that you feel necessary to play a portable game? Like something off of a Game Boy or something off of like your phone or something like that. Like for me it's just honestly if I've got some free time and I don't feel like firing up a console or anything like that, or turning on my computer, I'm just like, yeah, I'll bust out the Game Boy and play it a little bit. Because trust me, there were a lot of portable systems out there, man. There was the Game Boy, there was the Sega, the Game Gear. Dude, I remember the Game Gear. And I'm not gonna lie, man. Oh, crap. I thought the Game Gear, when I saw it, I thought, holy crap, this is like the most incredible piece of hardware I've ever seen in my life. And I thought there was like, the Game Boy needs to be careful, otherwise, you know, everybody's gonna want the Game Gear and nobody's gonna want the Game Boy anymore. And clearly, it's about software. When it really boils down to it, it's about the hardware and the software that comes out for it, man. Because I remember seeing the Game Gear. I remember seeing the games that were coming out on it. I was just like, holy crap. And I was thinking, it's just like, this is like leaps and bounds better than the Game Boy. And I never owned one, personally, but I knew a friend of mine that had one. And I played it. I played some of the games on it. We're very good. I gotta be honest. Like, even some of the Sonic games on the Game Gear, I'm just like, they're fun, but they're just like, they're very meh. They're very meh. They're nothing to be all like, these are monumental games that you need to own. They're just like, they felt like watered down versions of the console games. Not like Game Boy games, because like I know a lot of people is like, there was a lot of stuff like that on the Game Boy. But there are also like, they also made games specifically just like, this is the Game Boy version of this. Like when you play it, you're just like, okay, I know what version of the game I'm playing. Because you play Super Mario Land and you're just like, okay, this is Super Mario Land. But then you play like Super Mario Brothers and you can instantly tell the difference. Not just the fact that the game is in color, but just the way the game looks, plays, sounds, and everything. And I think that's what stood out the most. Because like if you played like, I don't know, like Sonic Labyrinth or Sonic Triple Trouble on the Game Gear, you're just like, no. Why are there rotating fire doubles? Oh god. But yeah. And then there was some experimental like portable gaming stuff, especially from Sega. I remember because they had the Game Gear, wasn't selling too hot, and then they released something called the Sega Nomad. And I don't know if you guys have ever played or seen the Sega Nomad, but pretty much think of the Switch now, and that's kind of what that's kind of what the Sega Nomad was. It was a portable gaming system. that you could take with you wherever you wanted to go, and you could play your Genesis games on. Like, it was literally something you could plug your Genesis games into, and you could play them wherever you go. Seems like a cool idea, right? Well, given that this was the time where the technology was still kind of new and they hadn't figured it out yet, the Sega Nomad, although a great idea, not that great. Not that great. Because really, it was honestly what it was a huge Sega Genesis controller with a screen on it. And it had a little port that you could plug your Genesis cartridges into. The actual handheld ran off of, I think it was like 6 D-cell batteries. And the sound in it was not very good. It would be like it sounded really bad. And so you would be like, okay, well, I'm gonna put in Sonic 2 and play it. I'm gonna go on a trip to my grandma's house. We're gonna play Sonic the whole way. This is gonna be great. And you would play it, and I kid you not, you would probably maybe get like 15 minutes of gameplay out of that thing on 6 D-cell batteries on a full charge. You would maybe get like 15 minutes worth of gameplay, because that thing's battery life sucked. It was so terrible. But the good thing about it is it actually came with like an AC adapter. Like, so if you had it with you and your batteries were dead, you could actually plug it into the wall and play it. So it was basically like a portable Genesis, honestly. You could plug it in, it had ports for you to plug the controllers into and everything like that. So you could play your Genesis games, or if you had them with you in your home and stuff like that, you could do that. It allowed you to do so. But the thing is like, if you were gonna do that, then why not just play the Genesis? You know, that's what you have it there for. But I always found it a little strange, but it was definitely an interesting idea. But much like with a lot of what Sega does, I just feel like it came out before they knew exactly what they had. So yeah. But there were a lot of others, man. The Nomad, really, that one will stick with me for a long time. I remember that there was the Linux handheld. No. You want to talk about an over-bleached screen with a very, very poor audio? That was the Linux, man. The Linux was not very good. And come to think of it, I don't even recall if I knew anybody who actually owned a Linux. I think I saw it in the store one day. It was super expensive, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm never gonna own this. But yeah, and then there was that. There was the N-Gage. There was the N-Gage, the taco-shaped cell phone that played portable games, which had some good games on it. The only good games I knew that it had on it were Sonic Advance and I think like Super Monkey Ball, I think, off the top of my head. But yeah, man, portable gaming, it's a crazy thing. Really teaches you some ins and outs about where it was and where it's going. Some of them were crap. Some of them were really good. Some of them probably should have never even happened. But I'll tell you what just did happen. We just beat Super Mario Land. We beat Super Mario Land in one whole video. One whole video. So pretty much a trip to your best friend's house while riding in the car. That's how much time it took us. It took us about, like, what? Like, a little less than 30 minutes to beat the game. And there you go. So, that's Super Mario Land, guys. I hope you liked it. It was fun just chit-chatting with you guys while playing a game that's not super long. It's nice and short. It's really fun to play. I enjoy it. It's a good time. But I don't know, man. It was nice to play a game of Mario that was not fully made by Miyamoto. Is this like, because like if you look at it, like his name's not really in the credits as far as I can tell. It's just like it was just pretty much a small group of dudes that were just like, hey, make a Mario game for the Game Boy, and this is what they came up with, and it came out really, really good. It feels like a Mario. It plays like a Mario. It has some interesting little different elements that you wouldn't normally see, but it works. And it's still to this day that it's enjoyable, man. I love it. And it's just good to go back and play some of these fun little games. It reminds me of a simpler time. Now, of a time not where I have to wonder, you know, about grown-up stuff. You worry about, hey, do I have enough batteries to finish the game? Or, hey, do I need to take some out of the TV remote so I can finish up my game? That's what we had to deal with. So, anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this small little bite-sized playthrough of a full playthrough of Super Mario Land. It was fun. I had a blast. And I will see you guys in another video. If you want to see more Game Boy or portable game stuff, let me know, because I don't mind doing it. But until then, guys, remember, this was Super Mario Land. I've been Benches. You have been amazing people. Love all your faces. I'll see you next time. See you later.